be true. Speculating, a long time waiting to hear a word back from you. Conversations in my head got me conflicted with what you said. I tend to second guess myself.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. If you're new here, my name's Katie. I am a fourth year first grade teacher here on YouTube. If you're not new here, thank you so much for tuning in for another video. This is going to begin a week in my life vlog. I'm gonna be honest with you guys today. I debated whether or not I should vlog this morning. I am tired. I'm starting to feel under the weather, honestly. I think it's a cold coming on. My throat started to feel scratchy this weekend and I was like, oh no. So I've been like taking lots of medicine and drinking tons and tons of water all weekend because I'm trying to just kick whatever this is to get rid of it. But I did want to kind of keep you guys updated. I think it might be an interesting week. We got some things going on, some things I want to do with the class. And I just thought, you know what, why not? Here's a week in my life. It doesn't always have to be happy and peppy and exciting, just a plain old average week. So I'm still gonna take you guys along with me. I already came in early this morning. I set out Chromebooks. I went to the copy room. I've turned on my board. I've made sure my calendar was ready to go because I forgot to put some things on my May calendar. And yeah, I've done a lot of stuff. So what I'm gonna do is like walk you through what our day looks like, which is pretty average, and then show you my centers like I do every Monday. First off, I came in and you could see that I watered the sprouts. So our plants look really good. It looks like they kind of need some sunlight. I watered them because I haven't watered them since Friday, so it's been a weekend. So I think the water will help them perk up a little bit, but I also think they might be needing more sun. So maybe later today I'll put them outside in the sunshine. But they're starting to look good, and that's awesome because our STEM teacher comes back tomorrow, and so she'll get to talk with them about their plants. I think there's only one student whose plant isn't really growing, and I don't know if that's because like maybe they didn't put a seed in it or what, because the rest of them are growing, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Today's going to be a normal day, completely normal. There's nothing abnormal happening. How many times can I say the word normal? So I'm excited for that because the rest of the week is gonna have some different things that we're doing, like our STEM teachers coming in at a different time. We'll have testing in our building, and I'm also gonna try to get a grip on what I'm doing for Mother's Day. I've got like 4 days because I'm not gonna do anything today. So I have like 4 days to figure this out before they have to take it home this weekend. So that'll be coming down the pipe, and that'll make it kind of off. So I'm gonna soak up today being completely normal and enjoy that because I know that the rest of the week is not going to be. That is honestly all I have to share this Monday morning. We are just doing review skills for phonics, nothing new. We are going to continue to do our how-to writing this week. We're writing about how to brush your teeth. I shared in a couple of vlogs ago that I got a box from Colgate that had a lot of cool like materials and toothbrushes and toothpaste and curriculum for students for Dental Hygiene Month, which is already way past, and I got it way later in the year, but we're gonna do it this week and do how to brush your teeth. So I have that on my slides. I'll show you those. Okay, here's what I have for our whole group slides this week. We're starting with a phonemic awareness warm-up like we always do. We're going over our new sight words for Unit 5, Week 5. Then we're gonna start our writer's workshop. We're gonna make a list of things that make us smile. We'll either put it on the board or I'll probably just write it right here to start. And then we're gonna start by doing some research about how to keep our teeth healthy. We'll do a KWL chart on my easel, and I'll just say, what do we already know about brushing? And that should say brushing our teeth, so I'll go fix that. And then I have the brushing your teeth little mini movie, Adventures in the Molar System from Colgate, that we will watch. And after we watch that, we will turn and talk with our partners about what we learned about keeping our teeth healthy. That will take us to day 2, phonemic awareness, sight words. Then we're gonna use the same paper that we did last week to kind of plan it out. Day 3, phonemic awareness, sight words. The same paper we did last week to plan out our writing and actually take those step pictures and turn them into writing. And then phonemic awareness, sight words, then our how-to book, just like we did for how to grow vegetables last week. So that's kind of what our whole group's gonna look like. Now I'm just gonna show you our centers and then that's it. I'll check in with you later today. Okay, here's our word work center. I think the last time I had this one, I didn't vlog, so I will show it to you. I've done this one before. It's the outline. You can make them in PowerPoint with your sight words, and you just set it to be the outline of your letters. So the students put these here, and then I have mini erasers, and what they do is they read the word, and then they use the mini eraser to fill in the letters. So it's great, fine motor skills, and I just picked some tricky words that we've already learned that we're reviewing. And then I also have this pencil box in here with sight word flashcards, so they get to pick up the sight word, then they get to take a pipe cleaner and make it with the letter beads on the bracelet and read the back of the card. So I just picked some basic ones that are really important that they know and put those in there. So word work is really just sight word review this week. Okay, our writing center is a little different. I put the directions up here and I told them to pick a story idea from their heart. That's what we did a couple weeks ago with our narrative writing. So there's mine. And I already have one story idea that I've circled. The next step is to circle a new idea and then fill out a story map about the story you picked. Do your best. So here are the story maps. I'm hoping this will give them something like they can use these story maps next week to like write their story is my goal in the writing center, but they'll have to take their heart out of the bucket, circle a new story idea, and then map it out. So this is kind of like, I don't want to say open-ended, but usually I have a more structured activity in the writing center. So hopefully they read these directions. I will model it this morning and hopefully it'll go well. And then they can use these story maps next week to do some writing in the writing center. What do you know? All right, that's all I have to show you this morning. I will check in with you at the end of the day before our data meeting to let you know how Monday goes.
Maybe this could be the start. Wondering if you feel the same. Wondering if my heart's open. I don't know.
Okay, end of Monday. It was a good day, pretty average. Let me just walk you through how things went. Rotations went fine. Centers were great, even the new ones that we did. The kids really liked doing the toothpaste and like toothbrushing activities that I showed you in our whole group slide. We came up with a brainstorm of the things we know about how to brush our teeth. Then we watched the Colgate video, and then we wrote down the things that we learned. Let me show you like our we just did KL. We didn't do KWL. It's just a KL chart. So let me show you what it looked like. Here was our know and learned chart. So they already knew that they need to brush their teeth, floss, mouthwash, go to the dentist. Somebody said something about gum that's minty, so I just wrote it up there. I think they were just talking about the minty flavor that makes your breath smell good. And then toothpaste. And then after watching the Colgate, we got a little bit more specific. We learned that we have to brush 2 times at morning and night, and after the night brush, don't eat food after. And then we learned about cavities and plaque and how plaque on your teeth makes cavities, so we brush to get rid of the plaque. So that was really good. They were super excited about that, and then for snack time today, I played the Berenstain Bears Go to the Dentist, and they were like, oh my goodness, they were talking about cavities, and I was like, yes, they were. So that was exciting because they made a lot of connections. So I'm excited tomorrow to like kind of take that to the next step and start putting it to writing instead of just like knowledge in their brain, to start turning it into how-to writing. So that'll be good. Math, we finished up our lesson from last week about adding numbers to 2-digit numbers, and then we started our lesson today where the Go Math curriculum, I've already shared my thoughts and feelings about it. Love-hate relationship, you know, mostly dislike, but it's fine. Anyways, it's starting them adding by adding 2-digit numbers by adding the 10s and then adding the 1s, or vice versa, adding the 1s and adding the 10s. So I don't really like all the examples that were in the book because it starts with like regrouping examples right away. And I'm like, I think we should start with like 45 plus 22 first, so we don't hit 10 with our 1s and then have like more than we need, if that makes sense. So I started with some that would not require regrouping, and we did them on our mats with our cubes. So I'm gonna kind of model exactly what that looked like for y'all because I think it went really well. And they've done so great sitting in a circle, like working with those mats and their cubes. Like that could be our new jam for math time. And I've just now figured this out, and this chapter ends this week, and then we go to measuring. So like all bets are off for the next chapter, but for right now, this is working. Here was our math time in a nutshell. So I was writing up on the boards. This is like my board up front. Students were using these. Everybody had a work mat like so, and then a bucket of cubes. So we started out, let me see if I can remember the one we started out with. So we started out with what the curriculum had. Sorry, I can't write my numbers upside down yet. and that was 30 plus 25 equals blank. So I wrote that up on the board, and then I said, okay, we're gonna build these numbers on our work mat, and I really emphasized the fact that you can see, well, it's hard for you to see, but they have been folded, so I said we're gonna use this crease, or this line that's kind of invisible, but we can kind of see it, to help us out. So I said, first thing I wanna do is up in this top box, can you build the number 30? So they all reached in and built the number 30. If they did it below, I just said, hey, slide that up into the top part above that little invisible line. So we made the number 30. I said, does it have any tens? Yeah, it has 3 tens. Does it have any ones? No, no ones. I said, great, okay, let's go to the next one. Now we're gonna build the number 25. This time I want you to build it underneath or below that invisible line we talked about. So the bottom of your chart has the number 25. So a lot of them did it like this. And I really just emphasized like, hey, make sure your 25 is at the bottom. Did these 5 go with your 30 up here, or did that go with your 25? So we slid it back down. I said, great job, friends. What I see is the number 30 on your mat, and then I also see the number 25. So what we're gonna do first is add the tens. So I said, okay, if we look at this number 30, how many tens does it have? And they said 3. I said, great. I'm gonna write that on the board, 3 tens. Then I said, what about your number 25? How many tens did you have to use for that one? And they said 2. I said, all right, great. I'm gonna write that on here, 2 tens. I'm gonna run out of room because my board's like this. And I said, okay. Sorry, that is so messy because it's upside down. Okay, let me try this again. So we have room. I should have flipped my board horizontal for you, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe the next example. All right, so I wrote it just like this up on the board, and then I said, okay, what happens if we have 3 tens and we add 2 more tens? They said it would be 5, which makes 50. And I said, all right, great job adding those tens. I said, now let's check it with our mat. Can you take all of the tens that are in your number 30 and your number 20 and put them together? And most of them brought these up to the top like this. I said, okay, check your tens. Do we have 50? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We do, nice job. So now let's do the same thing for the ones. How many ones are in the number 3? They said 0 ones. So I wrote that up on the board. I said, okay, we're gonna add that, since we're adding right here, to the number 25. How many ones are in the number 25? They said 5. I said, great, 5 ones. What happens if we add 0 ones and 5 ones? There's only 5. Can you combine your ones? And they said 0 and 5. They put them together. We made the number 5. I said, wow, we made the number 50 and we made the number 5. What happens if we put those 2 numbers together? They said it makes 55. I was like, great. So the answer, or our sum up top, is 30 plus 25 equals 55. And then I had them clear it all off. I said, put all your cubes back and show me you're ready for the next problem by sitting crisscross and quiet. And then I did the next problem. This time I will switch the board over this way so it is not hard to read. Okay, and this time I just did it number by number. So the first one I did the number 45, and I said, okay, friends, we're gonna build the number 45. Can you make it at the top of your board above that invisible line? So I gave them time. And of course, while they're doing this, I'm like, wow, I like how you put your tens in the right spot. And if any of them did it below, I just reminded them to pull it up to the top. And I used friends in the circle as an example. So I'd say, wow, I love how so-and-so has theirs up at the top of their board. If yours is not at the top, look at their board and see what their mat looks like. So I kind of did that as we went. I said, okay, we're gonna add another number. Now we're going to add the number 22. Your job is to make the number 22 at the bottom of your work mat. Can you build that number? So a lot of them did this. Some of them had the 2s and put it up top, and so I had to come and say, okay, I see your 20. Where did you put those 2 1s? And I had them bring it back to the bottom because we're really working on seeing the 2 numbers and then combining the 2 numbers. So I said, when I look at your mat, I should be able to see a 45 at the top and 22 at the bottom. Then we went and we did the same thing we did on the first example. I said, okay, how many 10s were in 45? They said 4 10s. How many 10s were in 22? They said 2 10s. I said, all right, what happens if we take 4 10s and we add 2 more? They all said 6 10s, which makes 60. I said, okay, I wrote what you said on the board. Let's check it with our mat. Can you slide all your 10s together? Did we make the number 60? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. We did. Nice job. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with our ones. How many ones do you see in 45? And they'd say 5 ones. How many ones do you see in 22? They'd say 2 ones. What happens if we take 5 ones and we add 2 more ones? It makes 7. I said, okay, let's combine it on our board. Do you see how that made the number 7? How does the number 7 look? Yeah, there we go. And then I said, okay, what if we take our 60 that we made over here and we count our 7 with it, and what does that make? And it made 67. And I said, yay, great job. And then I said, all right, go ahead and clear off your board and sit crisscross. And those were the only 2 examples we did on the mat today. Tomorrow, I will start to do some examples with regrouping. For example, I might do the number 66 plus 35, because the 6 and the 5, when you combine those together, it's going to make another 10. So it's kind of like pushing regrouping. I'm going to do some of those tomorrow, and then let me show you what it looks like in our workbook. So I'm really a fan of letting them see it with the cubes first before we do it in the workbook, because I think the workbook is a little confusing. Like, I understand it, but I'm also 27 years old, so I don't know if a 7-year-old would understand it. So it kind of lays it out in 10s and 1s, and this is exactly what we're doing on the mat. So I think the more examples we do on the mat, the better they're going to be able to see. And I'm trying to do it the same way. It looks like I'm doing it a little bit differently because I was doing 10s, 10s, 1s, 1s. So maybe tomorrow I'll do 10s plus 1s, 10s plus 1s. But I'm trying to show it the same way right here. So when we get to this, which hopefully we'll get to it tomorrow, and we do these examples scaffolded together, they'll be able to see, oh, if I add my 10s together, it makes 9. If I add my 1s together, it makes 5. But then the next page has like regrouping examples. So I don't like that those are all combined. I think that should be 2 separate lessons, but that is neither here nor there. That is why I'm doing a lot of this. And then that is all that we did today. We did computer lab at the end of the day, and we have our data meeting today. I'm super pumped because it's on Zoom. Whoop, whoop. I love a good Zoom meeting, so I get to stay in my element in my room. And then I will be leaving right after that. David and I are going to check out some tubs for our house because we're getting a tub replaced, so that's exciting. And then we're going to get dinner with friends, even more exciting, and it's pizza. So that is how you kick off a Monday for a week. I'm feeling better. I've been taking my medicine, and I did way better today than I thought I was going to, so that's good. I think like after I kind of woke up a little bit, which it just took me longer to wake up, which is not normal for me. I'm usually like a morning person, up and peppy. So once I kind of woke up, I feel a little bit better. I'm going to continue with the fluids. I've already finished all my water today, and continue with the meds and hope for the best.
Just delaying and replaying that look upon your face. Your laugh is contagious, never ages, always seems to make my day. Conversations in my head got me conflicted with.
Good morning, it is Tuesday. I am already here bright and early, have morning duty today, and I've been hitting up the copying machine. It's been kind of a struggle because my printer in my classroom is out of ink, and I've emailed and requested a new cartridge and just haven't gotten it yet. So I feel like I didn't realize how much I did on this and how that helps keep me ahead, because I can't even print originals to send down to the copy room now. So I'm having to print an original at home or borrow somebody's computer or send it to David at work to print the original so I could take it down to the copy room. So that's been kind of like difficult, but I had to print more copies of our how-to book that we did last week, so we can make them this week and write how-to books, I think, on Friday. And then I printed out an activity to do with my intervention group because we're working on distinguishing between a B and a D. So here's our little bed. I'm gonna let them color it in, cut it out, and also do some words. They've been doing really well with that. I just thought a fun activity to spice it up would be fun, because I know the other intervention groups do a lot of fun activities, and sometimes we do a lot of like work, which is what I think we should be doing in intervention. But you can do work and fun activities. I just haven't. We've just been reading and doing practice pages and stuff. So I think that'll be really fun for them. So let me put this extra paper away. I am down to like 2 packages of paper left total. I know I shared a long time ago in my vlog that I got paper ordered through the school, and I was really excited about that. I don't remember when that was. It was like earlier this semester. So if that tells you anything, I go through some paper like it's nobody's business. On schedule for today, it's going to be a different day because our STEM gifted teacher, our STEM teacher, is coming at 8:45 this morning to do a makeup lesson from a couple weeks ago when she had to miss. And so that's our usual reading group time, which is fine. I'm just not going to do reading small group today. We will pick it back up tomorrow. It'll be fine. So she's going to come in the morning. Then we're going to go to special area like usual. And then when the students come back, we're kind of going to bump our writing back one day. And we're going to get to work on our Mother's Day presents because we need to start them today because they involve some watercoloring. So what we're going to do, as I'm getting my slides set up, we're almost there. Here we go. Just like 2 more clicks and I should be there. Okay. What we're gonna do is I went to Walmart and got some cardstock paper for them to do their artwork on, because when you're doing watercoloring, you can do it on just like regular paper, but if you want it to be sturdier, you need to do cardstock because it gets all wet. So I'm doing cardstock paper. We're gonna do a directed drawing of some flowers. I did this last year. I'll pop my Instagram post up right here so you can see it. It's the exact same Mother's Day gift that I did last year, so that's what I'm planning to do. I also bought a pack of Sharpies. So during our whole group time, we're gonna go step by step and do the flower drawing. We're gonna make it look really nice. I'll explain to them that it's for their moms. And then if we have time during our whole group, I'll have them come to my table a few at a time to carefully use the Sharpie to outline their design. That way when we watercolor, it won't like bleed or anything. It'll just stay on the cardstock. So we'll see how much of that I get done. During our store block today on Tuesdays, we don't rotate. And so I think if we don't finish the Sharpies, I'll continue to pull a couple at my table to do assessments and to do the Sharpies for their flowers. So I'll show you what those turn out like at the end of the day. Yes, I hit the right button. I was trying to get a button on the computer for the longest time. I'll show you what that looks like at the end of the day and how their directed drawings turned out. I have to get that pulled up during my planning because I don't know if I have a hard copy of like the steps for this directed drawing, and it's not a YouTube video one. So I'm gonna get that all together and that'll be fun. And then the afternoon will just be like regular. So here's hoping it'll go smoothly. This morning's just gonna be a little different, and that's okay. State testing is today in the building and in the hallway, so that'll be fun. We have to be like completely silent in the hallway, but we practiced it yesterday, so we should be ready to go. And that's about it for Tuesday updates today. I've got morning duty in like 15 minutes, so I think I have enough time to make these books, as I'm getting hair off myself, to make these how-to books. Go ahead and cut them and staple them and stick them in my drawer for later this week. And I need to put these things in the drawer for tomorrow, and then I should be good to go. So I will check in with you guys at the end of the day and let you know how this kind of weird schedule Tuesday goes.
Conflicted with what you said, I tend to second guess myself like too much, 'cause I think that I've been falling ever since that day out in the park. And I don't know if this is love, but maybe this could be.
I'm finished all of that down to the wire. I have like 2 minutes to get out there for morning duty. Okay, we survived. Today was just not it, y'all. And I don't know if it's because we were doing like fun Mother's Day stuff or what the deal was, but it was just all the drama in first grade. But we did finish the directed drawing of the flowers. It went pretty okay. And it kind of made me laugh because I was like, yeah, some of my students did kind of struggle with this last year. Like as we were doing it, I remembered that like proportions were off for some of my students last year. Like their flower pot was tiny, their flowers were tiny, or it was like way too big. But that's part of the creativity. Like they're all supposed to look a little different. And then I remember last year, even though some of them I was like, that's interesting. After we watercolor them, they look great. So I sent out an SOS to the school and I was like, I need watercolors. I got some. Ooh, I almost dropped them. So I think I only have like 3 sets of watercolors in my cabinet left over from last year. And what I used last year was from the art teacher. So I just sent out and I was like, anybody have watercolors? And I got some, which is good. So So tomorrow we will watercolor. We will do that in the morning because we are the most focused and the most well-behaved in the morning. And so we're going to watercolor in the morning. Plus then it can dry before I put them in the frames, etc., etc. So that was good. And then I didn't even show you what I was gonna do for the second part of their gift. So let me show you. Okay, here is like the all about my mom questionnaire. If I find this, I know Mother's Day has passed, but if I find this, I'll link it in the bottom in case you want to save it for another year. It's so cute. And so I just had all the students come and like answer all these questions like, what's your mom's name? How old is your mom? What is your mom's favorite food? They're hilarious. Like some of the greatest answers. What is your favorite thing your mom cooks? Leftovers. I thought that was hilarious. One person was like, what does your mom do when you were at school? And this friend said, stay in bed or exercise. Classic. What was another one? What is your mom's favorite food? And one of them said Zaxby's, which I thought was really funny. And then I always love when it's like, what does your mom always say? And there's always somebody who's like, help me clean the house, or clean the house up, do your homework. But then some of them were sweet, like I love all my kids a lot, or I love you, it's gonna be okay, all those sweet things. So those turned out really cute, and I just attached these with the frames with the Mother's Day gift. So I couldn't believe I didn't share that with you. But like literally that's all we got done today, was we did the directed drawing, they traced it with a Sharpie. I did this during our intervention block while they were working on work. I pulled them and did that. Yeah, and then we did math, and math didn't go as great as yesterday, but I did the same thing. But I think it's like starting to click in their brains. So at least they're understanding it, but the behavior just wasn't as great as yesterday was. It's okay, wasn't bad. That's all I've got. And I'm gonna close out the vlog here because I don't want it to get too super duper lengthy. So if you want to see how the Mother's Day gifts turned out and the rest of my week goes, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and then click on subscribe so you don't miss the next part of the video. I will share how watercoloring goes and what like the final product looks like. So I'm pretty excited about that. Thank you guys so much for all your sweet comments and support on all of my vlogs. I know a lot of you guys are okay with me splitting into two because then I can share more with you. So I'm okay with that too. So be on the lookout for part 2 as we survive the rest of this week and the Mother's Day craziness. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next one.
I don't